Yeah. There we go. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Movie Night Podcast, episode 132. Man, that's a pretty big number. This was Hugh. It was your pick?
Yeah, Perfect
right.
Blue.
Perfect Blue from 1997, anime.
I didn't come prepared with a whole lot of notes and things, but
What?
I didn't do any research on it. I've probably seen it 6 times. First time I saw it was at Alamo with my kid. And man, I remember walking out of the theater just being like, God, that was a really good movie. And but it felt really familiar. Like there were lots of parts that I was kind of like, is that ripping that other movie off, or is that other movie ripping this off?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I liked it. It's got some like poppy kind of murder in it.
It's got some typical, Japanese anime stuff in it, but I think it's fairly well done.
Carissa said that it reminded her. I wanted to tell you this before I forgot, but she watched it with me last night. She said it reminds her of 3 movies. It reminds her a little bit of Identity. Have you seen Identity?
I think so.
Cusack? Identity, K-Pax, and then most notably, it reminded her a little bit of Fight Club. Which I felt the Fight Club vibes pretty hard in it.
It's like a little bit.
Like Black Swan, like 100% rips this movie off, basically.
Oh, really? Yeah. I need to rewatch Black Swan. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, it's basically this movie. Except without the K-pop stuff.
That's ballet,
instead of acting, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah,
I read that on your letterbox, and I was like, "Oh snap!" Josh is right. I never really put that together for some reason.
I intentionally didn't letterbox this yet because I wanted to be mysterious.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put a score. I just put a little quip on there.
Yeah, I can't help myself with a score and a thing, so I was like, I'm just gonna stay away from it until we talk tonight.
Yeah, we usually stay a little mysterious if we review something.
Sometimes
before the show.
Sometimes I just put my score up there. I'm like, whatever.
Has anybody else seen this one before, or are we all virgins to the Perfect Blue?
I have seen it before.
I have.
Oh, not. Really? Yeah, I hadn't seen it either.
Of course, Chris has.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I only watched it like 6 months ago, something like that. It wasn't that long ago.
It's like I'm not I've never been like an animated guy, but this is one that I'd heard about and I actually had on my watch list because I'd heard it was just a good animated movie. So I was glad to get to it.
Yeah, it's one that always gets like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, like this. Paprika.
I don't know. I've never really heard much about this movie before.
Yeah, there's like
I knew it existed, but I wasn't hearing it in those same conversations, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they played it at Alamo a couple of times, I think, and
that's where I know about it from.
Yeah, it's one of the kind of 90s animes that just always get brought up in the conversation usually. But I find this one, I haven't watched Paprika, but like I feel like it's probably a more accessible, even though it is kind of psychological and all that kind of stuff. I feel it's a little bit more straightforward and not super, too hard in the anime stuff, even though it does have the the idol stuff and some kind of typical anime things.
So, is Paprika something you've seen, Hugh?
No,
what's up, Jackie? Julie, Jackie.
It's gotten recommended to me since I started watching all these anime movies.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Oh, Paprika," and I was like, "No, Paprika." Like I don't know. I just didn't. I've never really been like rushing to watch that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. From what I know, it's a little bit like this, but it maybe even a little deeper in the just weird realm.
Really?
I mean, this isn't.
Check it out, then.
Isn't necessarily like a happy watch.
It was like sold out at Alamo the other night. We played it and everybody was freaking out about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like to me, it sounded like a little more, I don't know, geared to a younger generation than Perfect Blue is, but just the title, I would be like, that's a kid's movie. But I guess not.
I had a guy literally come in the other day, and he was buying a ticket to something. I think he was buying. Oh, it's fast, dude. So this dude comes in, and he's like, I'm like, so what are you watching? And then he says something to me. I said, man, you checking out Spider-Man? And he goes, nah, man, it's a cartoon. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, dude, it's really good. He goes like, dude, it's a cartoon. And I was like, all right. And then he walked up to the counter and literally asked me for tickets to Fast X.
See, that's historically me right there. That's I'm that guy. Like,
you say no to a cartoon, to then go and watch a cartoon?
Yeah, I've told my son for years, like, he would watch with Cartoon Network, and I'd be like, hey, look at that. And I'm like, nah, it's a cartoon. Like, yeah. And I said that for years about Berserk. And man, I just watched that like 3 months ago. I was like, oh my God, this show's amazing. Like, I can't believe that I was such a chump with this no cartoons business. So then that's when I really tried to, force myself to watch some of these that have been on the menu for a while. I'm not like entirely against anime. It's just something like, it's really got to be there. I really got to hear it's good and stuff to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm extremely picky with it.
Yeah. I mean, Akira, I've seen that. Ninja Scrolls, one of my all-time faves.
Those are the two that I like.
And those are probably the only two that I watched for like 10 years or something. Like,
no, definitely the only two that I watched for a long time too.
Yeah, I didn't really get into anime, but yeah, like I watched Nausicaa a couple weeks ago. Studio Ghibli's got a new movie coming out, and they're not promoting it at all, which I find kind of curious. I looked at their T-shirts today, and I was like, "Yeah, give me a Studio Ghibli shirt," and then I was like, "No, that's not." Definitely not for me.
Studio Ghibli's. I mean, they have
kids movies.
Yeah, so I mean, Studio Ghibli has some more adult leaning stuff, but very far cry from Akira and
for sure.
Yeah,
Berserk and all that stuff.
Yeah,
man,
they still can bang it out though.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched a handful of Ghibli's, and they've all been good. They all range from at least good to very good.
I was incredibly bored with this movie. It wasn't even bad. That was the problem. Like, it was just like, all right. Like, I hate K-pop. Like, I just can't get into this stuff. I tried at one point to like some of it. So like all of that part of it was driving me nuts. I don't really like anime. But I thought I really did think that this was going to be a good movie, so I was pretty stoked to sit down and watch it. I was excited to watch it with Carissa. I was like, hey, you want to watch this with me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. And because I do want to explore things that I'm not super into, but this one just missed the mark, man. The whole movie, I was like, really, this is it, huh? It was just like, I think when I watch anime, I want something a little crazier because that's what I'm used to seeing. And this was very, very,
blood. Blood.
And I think that's where my problem lies with it. And I don't think that it's necessarily their problem. More so, it's my problem because it's what I look for. And it's a very well-made movie. I thought that I liked that I was reading it, not listening to it dubbed. I did look for a dubbed version at first because they were talking so much. It was hard for me to keep up. So we just rewound it a little bit and reread it. But like, I don't know. I feel like they could have been a little bit more extra with the stuff, and they weren't. And I think it was just a little toned down for me. But again, it wasn't bad. It was this really weird feeling where I thought this is the definition of mid to me. Like it's not bad at all. I just don't care about it. Like there's nothing in it that's pulling me forward. And yeah, I just was a little, and I was bummed out that I felt that way too. So it made me even more like, just like, meh. But I don't know. I wasn't surprised to find out that I didn't like it because I really am not an anime guy. Like, it takes a lot to get me to sit down and watch an anime. I even own some. I just don't even watch it. I don't know, man. I just never really got into it. If I do watch it, I want it to be absolutely insane. I want just like crazy stuff.
Yeah, like did you watch Chainsaw Man? I think we talked about it before.
I haven't watched that yet. That's one that I'm interested in watching.
Yeah, see, like that's more of what. That's why I said like Perfect Blue is kind of, I think, a good introduction to the more serious side of anime.
I think that might be what it is. I don't really want serious.
Yeah, it doesn't have the over the top stuff, but I think Chainsaw Man is probably more your speed of, like demons and chainsaw head guys and blood spurting everywhere.
That sounds like my speed, all right. I think
I got a list a list that I found that was all like those kind of movies, and one of them was Kite, and I watched it and I was just like, I don't know if you've seen that, Chris.
I don't know what that is.
It's
called
like a 20-minute movie. Yeah,
Okay.
and like there's a Sammy LJ movie that's a knockoff of it. But man, I mean, I was kind of like you on that, and I could see how you think this is toned down. Like when I was watching it, I was kind of like, it's not. It's pretty like level. And then it kind of pops off at the end. But they keep like a level of intensity going, and it's like not too high and not too low. It's just sort of like one tone. It kind of felt like to me, but I see that. Anyway, Kite was kind of a piece of trash. I think it was extreme. I think it was extreme in like the mid '90s, but now I was like, well, I mean, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, I kind of felt like if I had seen this in the '90s or early 2000s, it probably would have popped for me a lot more. Like I liked it, but it did feel like I've seen this movie before.
It did it did feel pretty familiar. Carissa liked it more than I did. She enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah.
because you have.
Yeah.
It's, and I don't want to bag on it. I don't think it deserves
Yeah.
that. It was just one of those ones where I thought, man, I'd almost rather absolutely hate it. So I had some kind of emotion going in, but like I just don't care. And I'm like, man, I don't. That is what bothers me. That's when I feel weird. Is when I have nothing to say about it. Really, I'm just like, man, sure, it exists. That actually makes me feel weird because I'm such a talkative person. That's how I express myself, is through words. And so when I got very little to say about it, I mean, it took me 10 minutes to say anything. I just was sitting here listening, thinking about what I wanted to say because I didn't want to just trash it because I don't think it deserves that.
It had some pretty good scenes. Like I always like the shots of her apartment where they're like looking at her apartment from a distance, like through the city.
Yeah.
For some reason, I really like those shots.
There was definitely some good shots in it.
Like her apartment, I think it's like the way of life when you're kind of examining the movie. Like her apartment was so small, and she's just got a bed and a fishbowl and a TV all in this one little room, and she's like a K-pop star.
I was thinking that
crazy.
too. I was like, she's like a big star, and she's still in a tiny little room.
Tiny little nothing.
So one of my very close friends lives in Korea, and he said that over there, because we were talking about that. He came over to my house and we were talking about how I didn't have much room over here. And he goes, bro, you think you don't have room here? He's like, you better be glad you don't have a family over there. They all live in the same room. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you might have like a 3-room house for a family of 5. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, everybody lives in the bedroom. Everybody hangs out in the living room and everybody eats in the dining room. And he's like, and there's like a dining room / kitchen. And that's where the family lives. And I was like, what? And so this movie, I did think about that. And I will say that I did make a comment to Carissa that I thought it was cool how, even though it was drawn, that they were good enough at what they were doing to make the stuff still seem dated. Like everything looks accurate to the time that it was out. Like nothing looked all spacey and weird. It looked like late 90s stuff because it was drawn in the 90s. And I thought that was really neat. Yeah. It was basically like the same kind of effect as taking photos or making a little movie or something. There was definitely things that I liked about the movie. I just overall was a little underwhelmed, I guess is the right word.
There's like a moral dilemma or something in there too, where it's like the exploitation of women. She goes to the photo shoot and the guy kind of like gets her going. And the next thing you know, her photos are, nude photos are all in the streets. And you're kind of like, well, did she sign up for that, or was she just trying to promote herself, or was she taken advantage of, or what was going on there?
They definitely put it like she kind of feels obligated to do these things to
be famous,
to make it
obligated to fame or something.
Some of it felt like it like was so fast, like you couldn't quite get like how she was feeling about it sometimes. So like some of those things, like they flip by so quickly and they're like flipping in and out of reality. You don't like really know what's real and what's not. So it's like
that is one part that was getting to me because I wasn't catching what was what. I was like, well,
I think that's kind of the part of the thing. Like the whole last like 20 minutes of the movie is like Inception. They keep going through different levels of
it's kind of dreamlike.
You're
just sort of like, what is it? Is she crazy? Is the other person crazy? Is like, what's going on?
Well, the reveal was a little surprising to me. I will say this. No, this is another one of those movies, man. There's a freaking pretty big list at this point of movies that like I think I just need to be in the right mood. And now that I know what it is, I might revisit it one of these days because I didn't hate the movie. That's definitely not the emotion that I got out of it.
Yeah.
I just was a little surprised that I didn't enjoy it more. But I mean, you really do. I mean, look how many movies are out there. We've all seen so many movies at this point. For me, especially, dude, it takes an awful lot to get me going, man. Like I think I have officially dug myself too deep into this hole of these other movies because I'm going through my movies and getting rid of stuff, and the only shit I'm keeping is like the worst crap, dude. Like, I mean,
I feel you there, man.
It's kind of ridiculous. Like, even I was like, "What am I doing, dude?" Like, I'm just. I love
all the mainstream stuff.
Pretty much, dude. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
It's easy to get carried away. Like that's what it's all about. Kind of, you get lost in your collection a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes to put yourself like in the time frame. I mean, like Josh said, if you watch this in the late '90s, early 2000s, it's going to hit a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's hard to like put your mind in that. Like I watched a few older horror movies over the last year or so. Like, man, that wasn't that great, but they're like cult hits, and I feel like at the time they were probably scary and they were probably really good. Or
that's exactly how I feel about Exorcist, though. Is that it's like had I watched it in the late '70s, I probably would have thought it was awesome. I mean, that's exactly the kind of
exactly. HBO or Channel 16 at like midnight or 10:30 it comes on and runs.
Dude, if I would have watched that as like a little kid, like,
dude,
in the theater, like a drive-in, that would have scared the crap out of me. Probably, how could it not have? But I've already watched Terrifier and stuff, so like when I watched that movie, I'm like, this ain't got shit on that. But like,
your mind is polluted.
Well, I mean, dude, like. It really is, man. Okay, look, dude. When I'm starting to have like directors that I like for shot on video stuff, that's weird, man.
That's bad. That's real bad.
Josh is gonna have like an intervention,
dude. Like, I fully expect Josh to show up and be like, "Did you watch that one?"
Yeah,
dude. Is it not awesome?
I mean, the first 30, 45 minutes of it were torture, and then like. It got pretty good, and I was like, "Oh, thank God!"
But for that kind of movie, though, for like a budget of like $4,000, I mean, that was pretty great, man.
No,
and that's my point.
Awesome.
But I mean, I like the boring garbage stuff at the beginning. I don't know what it is about that stuff that I like. I think I'm watching it, laughing at it most of the time. Well, I don't take any of this shit seriously.
Lifetime horror, and then Kablooey, like the whole thing. I was like, wait, why is the monster in there? And then there's like a whole nother plot on the side.
Dude, it's like, dude, that's my favorite director right now to watch. Dude, his name's Todd Sheets, man. Shout out to Todd Sheets and his $14 movies that he puts out. Dude, and then like, yeah, man. I'll talk about it in a second.
Some of the shots were good in that.
Well, no, there was like stuff that surprised me, man. Like I did one called Moonchild that he also did, but it's like way earlier in his career. And it's amazing, dude. What's amazing about it isn't like how good the film is. It's stuff like this. There's a part where they're in this truck and they're doing like this chase. And in real movies, they like film it going like 30, but they speed it up a little bit so it looks like they're going faster. It's like he just didn't know about that part, so they're like, and their guy's like, and it's so ridiculous. And it's clear that they didn't have any kind of people to work for them. So they have this lady who's like got to be this dude's like great aunt or something. She's playing this role she has no business in. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I love it, dude. And the fight choreography is absolute trash, but the Foley artist did a pretty good job. So it's like, yeah, and it's like, whoosh, and you're like, wait, what happened? Did that guy hit that guy? And you're like, I don't think he touched anything. He might have hit air, but like it's like kids fighting adults. It's wild,
man. Bro. This guy gets stabbed. He gets stabbed deep, like in the chest. And it's like the next couple scenes, he's just chilling, talking like totally normal. I'm going, dude he got a 3-inch blade in him and like deep. And he goes, carrying on with this same old crazy. It was well edited to the point where I was like, it felt like an 80s movie where they use camera angles and they stop and put little scenes in to give effect. I was like, this isn't bad. It's got an old school feel, old school editing. It was pretty fun after a while.
I finally started to crack like here's all the garbage floating on top. I finally gotten below that to where it's like so garbage that it's gold. And you're like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
I'm finally starting to
I don't
come
know.
across the ones that are like awesome. Y'all about to be put through some shit, man. I hope y'all are ready for this.
I don't know that I could really ever watch it again though, to be honest. Like, I wish
Oh, I'm absolutely watching it again pretty soon, and so I can do a review video for it. I think that's where the channel's headed. It's going just down the fucking garbage
full
disposal.
SOB. I mean,
Oh,
it's
dude.
a nice niche for you. I think.
Well, I love it. That's what's so good about it is I love this stuff, and I can probably get half these people to do the show with me.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
a plus.
You know, what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
These people probably don't have anything better to do.
I
You know
say
what?
definitely.
I guess there's some audience for this besides Randall.
If there
This
wasn't,
is
they
writer,
wouldn't have all these
director,
companies.
producer.
They wouldn't have all these companies that do it because there's like 4 or 5 companies now that I've found that are like that's all they do.
Somebody's watching it, I guess.
I guess it's all on Tubi for free. So, dude, you know the best part is most of these movies on Tubi they have like one commercial through the whole movie because nobody's watching it anyway. So they're like, whatever. And so like I get the benefit from that. I'm like, let's go,
They throw a commercial 5 minutes in, and they go, "Oh no, I'm not watching any more of this.
bro.
Nobody's watching this anyway. There's no point."
I watched Bone Hill Road, and I don't think there was a commercial for like 45 minutes, and the movie's only like 70. I was like, this is awesome,
Hell yeah!
dude. It was so cool. But like,
It's a high risk commercial.
okay, so it's like a Depends commercial because the only person watching it is some guy that can't even get up from the channel. So
Can't find the remote.
Dag nabbit. So okay, so at the Frightmare weekend, at the table, I asked the guy. I told him what I said. I said, "Dude, the crazier and the more low budget, the best. That's what I want. The better, right?" And he picked up immediately. He picked up Raw Force. Did y'all remember him picking this one up and telling me about it? He goes, "Dude, this one is crazy. You need to watch this." And he handed it to me.
Yeah.
This was like the first one, and I was like, "All right, I'll take your word for it." I haven't been as happy with a purchase in so long.
Dude.
This might be. I have got to bring this to Chris because I can't find it streaming anywhere. So if you can't find this, we need you guys to watch this because this movie blew my mind, bro. Like, listen to this. Okay, did you see my letterbox on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was
Oh,
like,
dude,
oh,
maybe I
whatever.
did. Maybe I did. Maybe I
Here
did.
goes
So-
Randy again.
Do what?
I was like, whatever. Here goes Randy with his 5-star shit again.
Bro, this
It's
is a
all
5-star.
5 stars or 1 star.
It's
So-
a big old beautiful dog turd with a bow on it.
So okay, let's see here. How do I can't navigate this stupid app. Oh, here we go. So I put this is the single greatest low budget grindhouse movie I've ever seen. This has exploitation, zombies, cannibals, and martial arts all in one. Tons of TNA as well, tons of fights. It even has piranhas. Like seriously, what the fuck? I love this movie. At one point, a Bruce Lee ripoff and a Chuck Norris type are fighting not only ninjas but zombies at the same time. If you like cool shit, this is the coolest shit there is, and I stand behind that. Also, here's my note. I'm just going to tell you my notes because I'm still making a whole ass video about this. So this is my notes. It says fist fights, debauchery, and an amazing mullet wig. This movie's awesome. Super slow choreographed fighting that is absolutely realistic. Amazing Chuck Norris-esque fight in a strip club while a topless dancer just keeps on dancing. Lots of spicy language. We should cancel this movie, actually. I'm offended. And then it says, beautiful picture, lots of grain. It's a good print, actually. It looks and feels like I'm watching it from an old grindhouse theater. And then it says, in like 30 seconds, we meet a male stripper. Oh, sorry. In 30 total seconds, we meet a male stripper and a skullet-wielding bartender that breaks a block of ice with his head while they're on a cruise to a place called Warriors Island. And then it says, then there's a Christian guy that pops up and tells a playmate that she's doing all this stuff for Satan. There's lots more boobs. And then it says, during the trip, the boat is taken over by pirates, and one of those pirates is a Latino Nazi. This guy ties up a lady, and he's assaulting her when he's interrupted by her guy. He just jumps up and zips up his pants, and then they beat the shit out of each other while she's still tied up naked and watching as if she's enjoying it.
Hey, man,
Like,
I'm
it's-
sold.
I'm telling you, bro. And then at the bottom, I just put, this may be the single best movie purchase I've ever made. Imagine if you let a 12-year-old boy that is obsessed with Rambo, Chuck Norris, and Bruce Lee
Yeah.
Make a
That's
movie.
exactly what I was thinking. It sounds like a 12-year-old just put all his fantasies into a movie.
Dude,
Right.
I loved that movie. And it's like 82 minutes, bro. It's in and out, bro. It starts and it's like, and dude, I didn't even go into everything that's in this movie, bro. There's monks that are cannibals. Like, what? Why? Like, none of this shit makes any sense, and it's glorious, dude. Like, I'm finally getting to where I've dug so deep that I have found treasure. Like, we are there, fellas. I am finding the treasure. You're welcome.
Some booty gold,
Bro.
some
I'm
brown,
glad you
brown
did the
trout,
digging for us.
brown trout with corn in its mouth.
Ugh.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can wade through all the trash and just bring us the good ones.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what I'm happy to do that for you, fellas. I love you guys. Oh,
I mean, this
man.
Watch
does
it.
sound fun. I mean,
Dude, it's
I'm not-
so
Yeah.
silly. Dude, I was watching it and I was like, dude, not even Josh could hate this. There's no chance. I was like, this movie is badass because it's so crazy. It gave me hope for a couple of these other ones that I picked up from the same guy because he was like pointing me around to this and this and this. And I passed on a couple of them, but I'm making a little list of things that I need to go back and purchase because
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
like a
couple that-
compilation of like 6 movies or something.
Dude.
I can't.
I'm gonna watch probably tonight. I'm gonna watch so I have 3 that I'm trying to decide from. We got Devil Story, which is like SS Zombies, nothing wrong with that. Wrestle Massacre, which actually has Nikolai Volkov, the wrestler, in it, which it's like shot on video. Yeah, it's probably better
What's
than the
that
movie
about?
called. I'm assuming wrestlers.
And
Then we have one
massacres.
just called Fucking Bastards, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't see how you could go wrong with this.
I almost
Based
bought
solely on
that one. It was the last one on the table, and I was like, I picked it up like 3 times. I was like, dude, the cover's got me, and I was like, no, I couldn't do it. I
Yeah, the
couldn't
chick
do
with
it.
the bag on her face. Well, we'll find out if it's any good or not.
If it was
I
Japanese,
was-
you'd have immediately bought it.
Yeah, he would have.
Right.
I was like, man, the last one on the table could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Dude, it's
Like,
it's from Spain and it's 63 minutes. I'm watching this tonight,
There we go.
bro. Dude,
But you know,
my
screw
shit ruled.
Perfect
I got
Blue.
the best movie collection, dude. I was looking at my stuff and I was purging it out and I was like, man, I don't want this like award-winning garbage. Throw this shit out of here. Dude, oh man, my collection just got so much cooler.
I mean, Ralph
I'm happy
Wars
you're
has a 3 on.
Don't lie. No, you're not.
I'm happy for you,
Yeah.
not for me.
Bro,
You can-
I was
you can-
literally like going through it and I was like, oh my god, did I just like what was I thinking it was called? It was like I like went back in time. Like I've like what's it called? Not evolved, devolved. I'm like, did I devolve?
Devolved.
Am I like Benjamin Button but up here? But yeah, bro,
Man,
my
I'm
movie
glad
collection,
you got your thing though. I'm
dude,
glad
I
you
love
got
it, man. I'm stoked. Like, and I'm the only person that I know that likes this shit, which makes me like it even more. I'm like, this is so rad. Like, I show people at work movies that I like, and they're like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And I'm like, "You never heard of this before?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Nah." I've only got one dude to like get on the train with me, and he's like not even really on the train. He's like maybe thinking about buying a ticket. He hasn't actually got on the train yet.
My dad was like this with sci-fi movies. He would watch the worst.
Yes.
I mean, bad. I could go deep and hard on some crazy sci-fi from the 70s and 80s for this show,
I
but
kind of like some of that stuff too. Remember me and Chris got on a little kick for a while where we were watching like Corbin shit. It was like
Yeah, dude.
Galaxia,
Man,
Star Crash and
what?
shit.
Star
Ooh.
Crash. I
Ooh.
love those movies. Dude, that's my jam.
Yeah, Forbidden.
Forbidden Planet is awesome.
Yeah, that
Oh,
movie's
oh,
awesome.
That one's pretty fun.
That is pretty good. That's the
Yeah.
animated one.
You guys are speaking my language, man. I love this stuff.
I mean,
I like
Rough,
Masters of the Universe, unironically.
Logan's Run.
Rough Horse has a 3 on Letterboxd. It's not like
No,
That'd
dude,
be
Raw
trash.
Force is awesome. I don't know how it doesn't have like a 4. Like, I was a little surprised it wasn't higher than that.
Actually,
It's-
like 3 or 4 people I follow on Letterboxd have all reviewed that movie.
Really?
So I was like, okay.
really?
I mean, I think it's Vinegar Syndrome, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think
that's a
what it
pretty
was.
Yeah.
big. It's a pretty big label.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
live
it's
Vinegar
gotta-
Syndrome
There's a lot of
stuff.
hot garbage that they fool with too, though.
No, they for sure. Yeah.
Josh was like, yeah, they definitely do.
I mean, a lot of it's just like softcore nonsense. You know,
Yes.
you got no story at all.
That's awesome. I got one called Best Friends that I bought from them a long time ago. I've never had the courage to watch it. I have to throw it on.
That better not be a softcore one.
It's going to irritate me.
Best friends. Oh god.
I'm trying to get the kids to watch that movie Host. I know this is a total subject change, but the Bong Joon-ho movie.
Mhm.
But Bricken is like, dude, he's fully in. Dude, we watched Insidious 2 and had like a great time watching it. He wants to go watch the new one.
Killer movie.
Bro, it's way better than I thought it was gonna be, man. That's
I
a
love
good movie.
Insidious.
Yeah.
I'm actually a
Good one.
pretty big fan at this point myself, man. I gotta say, I was wrong about that movie. And he's all like super psyched to watch it, the new one. He watched The Exorcist with me, and it was like the only time in my whole life I enjoyed watching that movie. It was freaking rad, man. Like having him involved makes me like stuff I don't normally like just because that's my little dude.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make it through the thing. He's falling asleep. I think the thing's gonna have to wait another couple of years. He's not really into that one yet because it's a little slow paced for him. He's
This the first like 40 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Pretty
unless
slow
you're like
burn.
super invested, it's like, okay, come on, let's get this going. But I really liked it after we talked about it whenever I wasn't interested in it. And Josh kind of explained to me, no, this is why you need to like it. And I was like, oh, I need to watch it from a different point of view then. And I did. And I was like, oh, shit, you're right. So, but it took me a long time to be able to get to where I would even do that, where I would take somebody's advice and go, okay, let me go and check this out and see what you're talking about. And,
Yeah, I just kept telling you were wrong until you finally believed me.
funny thing is like I'm definitely not, but it's so weird. It's so weird, man. Like, bro, my movie collection looks so stupid. I'm looking at it right now and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, you can sell us all the good stuff.
That's
There you
what
go.
I was planning on doing. That shit'll be like, I mean, some of it's not any good, but some of it's I just don't like. I want to watch like that heater movie where they had that heater that comes alive and kills people. Like that's what I'm into. Like,
Yeah.
Zombie
Yeah,
ass Toilet of the Dead. I'm interested. Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
You are the
machine-
market.
I am the market. I am the only person. Like, we're gonna make a limited edition one. We'll just sell it to Randall. He'll buy it. All right,
Yeah.
man. There wasn't a lot to talk about with Perfect Blue. I'm a little disappointed. It was it was easy to get through talking about that movie. There wasn't a lot to unpack. It was pretty straightforward. It was a lot faster than I thought. It wasn't like 82 minutes, Hugh. It's
Yeah,
like really
it's
short.
It's pretty short.
Yeah, I think it was pretty short. So I guess we can all agree at 5 stars.
On Perfect
Absolutely.
Blue or Raw Force?
Yeah, I mean, I think I liked it more the second time.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably still at a 4.
4 stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did like it more a second time. I found it not confusing the first time, but I felt it just kind of like hopped from weird thing to weird thing, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
I felt it flowed a little bit better the second time. I could kind of follow along a little easier, I guess. Again, but not like it's some like crazy twisty turny story. I mean,
It
there's
does kind of flip between things very quickly, though.
Yeah.
It just kind of you can kind of get lost a little bit.
Yeah. And obviously I knew what was coming, so yeah, it's easier to follow along when you know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it.
Interesting. Well, I don't want to even tell you what I was going to rate it then, because I definitely didn't think you were going to go with 4.
I'm at like a 3.5 probably.
Fucking hey, really?
It took me it took me like 20 minutes to like kind of get into it. I don't really watch anime, so I was kind of like, I don't know, like I'm not really into this for a few minutes, and then I sort of got into it, and by the end I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I see what this is. I see where what it's influenced, and like I thought it kind of it landed.
Yeah, it does have
Well.
a little bit of a slow start. Oh yeah, once you get past all the pop artist stuff,
Yeah. There's that stuff is kind of annoying, but
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
cultural thing. I get it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing it on Letterboxd real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'd say it's there's a lot of kids around the city. I feel like that are into K-pop and J-pop. It's kind of
Oh, yeah.
a teen thing, tween thing, if that's a real word anymore.
It's international now. Like everybody loves the
Yeah,
K-pop stuff.
there
They
was
have an
a group.
entire little shop next to my shop that is only K-pop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Are they busy?
busy, no, but do they have people there? Yes. I wouldn't call it busy, but it's definitely they've got some customers. But I mean, like every
Yeah.
time I walk by there and see that it's still open, I'm surprised. I'm like, that is pretty crazy. And it's all like, what's that one boy group? I can't remember.
BTS.
Yeah. No.
Why do you know that? But yes.
Didn't they come like
They had a
week
freaking
ago?
Burger King
Do they really?
item or something like that.
That's
They
crazy.
were here like not too long ago.
But it's all BTS and Blackpink, like the
Yeah.
whole store, and it's like,
dude, Blackpink. They can dance.
He used jamming the Blackpink on his way to
No,
work.
not
Okay?
jamming, but, I'm just watching from a
I
distance.
have
Nah.
no qualms with like, look,
I do follow all their Instagrams. Just
The videos
I've-
on mute.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
well, I've
they do
covered
their
Blackpink
little
on my channel.
like,
I've covered
okay.
Blackpink on my channel a number of times, dude. Their music's not bad. It's just not what I like, but it's
Okay.
good, and they're adorable young ladies. They're very, very pretty women. I mean, like, but I don't care enough to go look at them. Like, sure, if you're in front of me, I'll be like, "What's up? What's up, Adam? What up, duder?
What's up?
Duder, pooter, duder." I don't know why I said it like that, but whatever. We're talking about how absolutely crucial shot on video film is for the,
The film industry.
yeah, film
a
industry
whole.
and like the sustainability of like the Academy Awards or something. Like if without these movies, we wouldn't have stuff like we wouldn't have Scorsese without like
Right. Yeah.
Bone Hill Road.
A man
Definitely.
can dream.
These are like the foundation of all cinema.
This is like Mark Scorsese trying to make a movie.
Mark Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah. There probably is a guy.
Directed by Mark Scorsese. And you're like, what is
I think
this?
He's
And he's
got
like,
a new movie coming out, doesn't he?
Martin
Scorsese?
Scorsese? Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Man, I wish I was more interested in that, dude. I really do. I wish I was like super hype on it because I want to go like with you guys, but I'm probably just gonna not go ruin your night.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like I
I mean-
genuinely want to go and like enjoy it, but I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I just don't think I'm gonna care.
Yeah, but you
So,
like
like-
some Scorsese stuff,
So
don't
why?
you?
Yeah, I like some of it, but I think he's vastly overrated. But not vastly is a strong word. I think he's a little overrated. I'll say it like that.
Damn. This
I don't
is-
think is I don't I a lot of his stuff I don't dislike much of it, but I don't like care about it. I don't know. I just don't think I like the right stuff or the same stuff or whatever. I'm not even like I don't even care. Like I don't even want to shit on it. Like Scorsese is clearly a great film director, man. Like he's I mean, obviously he's objectively
I guess
one of the
so.
greats, but his movies I just don't care about them the way that some people do. Like that's the way I'll put it because I don't. I love Goodfellas. Did he do Casino as well?
Yes.
Okay, I like Casino a lot. I think Casino's an underrated film because it doesn't get near the love that I think it deserves. But I mean, there's a lot of his movies. I mean, when I go look at his film, like his whole filmography, like his list, there's tons of shit I like to watch. I mean, it's not that I don't like his movies. I think I'm just saying it, not saying it right because I don't have like a disdain for him. I don't get stoked when I hear that it's a Scorsese movie coming. Like that's not what gets me going. But when the movie comes out, if it's a good movie, I'm interested in it. Not just based solely on the fact that he made it. That's the way I'll put it. I don't want to show the guy. He's earned my respect. I mean, he's made a lot of really great movies, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't say things right sometimes. I know what I'm thinking and I say it. I'm like, well, that was vomit. That is not really what I meant. But
I mean,
I feel you,
I mean,
man.
I kind of know already how you feel about it. Like we've talked about it enough times that I know how you are. But I know you, even the Irishman, like you talked that up when it came out because you.
I was,
liked it.
and that's the thing is like I like it, but it's not. I don't think it's this like fantastic movie. Like, and it's way long. And I'm not gonna say too long. It's just so long. And I'm so deep into like 60-minute movies now. Like, I mean, I'm treading like dangerous territory here, man. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm safe, dude. I think I'm pretty much a goner at this point. Like, I may as well just bon voyage, see you later, and I'm just floating away. And you're just like, well, I would throw you a rope, but you like really bad movies, sir. So
there's not
I
enough
like-
rope. You're too deep in that hole.
facts, bro. I'm like, well, pop out in China and they're gonna be like, "Want to buy a DVD?" I'm like, "Son of a bitch, I do." Oh, it's awesome. Freaking movies are rad. All right, what are we watching this week?
Actually, like struggled with like what to pick, but I really just settled on what was
I got a
like
few things on my board. I'm pretty ready for next time. Sorry.
on a. I really just settled what was on a streaming service. So, Demons
What is that? Demons.
from Bava,
Oh,
Umberto Bava.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Now you're speaking my language, sir.
I haven't
Have
seen
y'all
it.
seen this?
I haven't.
I've not.
I own it.
Wait, you and Josh haven't seen this? Hugh, what do you think
Uh-uh.
they're gonna think? I'm psyched right now, dude.
I mean, I
Josh
think
is
the
gonna
first
probably
time
hate it.
the first time I watched it, I was not in the mood, and I was like, "This movie's stupid." And then
Yeah.
now I watched it again, and I've thought about it a bit. I'm like, "Yeah, that's a crazy little movie." So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm expecting a little silliness.
It's
oh
80s Italian nonsense, right?
Bro,
No,
I think
it's
isn't that
got
one
some
that
hidden
you bought me,
moments.
Chris? A long time ago? Did you buy me a copy of that?
it's a good
I
movie.
don't remember. I mean, like I remember you getting a copy. I might have been responsible for it. Maybe I don't
you
know.
bought me a couple of movies for like
Yeah, it's Demons 1 and 2, right?
yeah, you
There's
bought
a
me
box set.
you bought it for me
Oh, yeah.
on like an Italian version.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Was it for like my birthday?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna crack this one open and watch this one just because you're my dog.
Cool.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I even have it on Blu-ray. I'm still gonna watch this copy because why the fuck not?
Yeah, it's on a couple of things. It's on Plex, Shudder.
Yeah, it's been on my list for a while.
Like, I really hope you like it, but I won't be shocked if you don't. But I really think you still might. I don't know if that
Yeah.
made any sense, but
I feel like I have a good idea of what to expect with it.
dude, this one is a lot of fun, dude. This is like, yeah, like if you're looking at, oh God, how do I say this? If you're looking for like a quality movie that I might like, I would say this would probably be like in that vein. But like what I look at as quality, you might look at as like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for some silly fun. I mean, not necessarily like a terrible ass movie.
no, this is way better than most of the stuff that I watch.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good movie. I just like I said, the first time I saw it, I wasn't in the mood for it, but this is a pretty good movie, man.
I will say that if you're like
Really
not
fun.
in the mood for something kind of silly and campy, this is going to be a rough watch. But if you can handle that, like when you're like after a long day at work, this would be fun to watch because you're just kind of like, I don't want to watch something heavy, dude. This is pretty great. Hell yeah.
That's kind of how I've been lately.
Yeah.
Work's been so shitty. Like I
Kicking
just
your
like,
butt.
throw on some corny B movies and stuff.
Let me know when you want to list, sir.
I saw you watched Castle Freak not too long ago, Josh. Like that's kind of been on my radar a little bit because
Didn't you watch it too, Chris?
Crampton, yeah, Barbara Crampton.
Yeah, and it's
Sorry.
Stuart Gordon. It's the
Reanimator
Reanimator from Beyond guy. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, it was good. It's pretty
That's
fun.
fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Castle
Quite a
Freak's
bit.
dope. Barbara Crampton's like, yeah, she's hot.
Yeah,
There's a movie coming out fairly soon. I guess it's at festivals right now. It's called Suitable Flesh. That was supposed to be a Stuart Gordon movie before he passed away.
Interesting.
And it's supposed to be like Lovecraftian. It's got Barbara Crampton in it.
okay.
It's coming out like soon.
Well, it's at festivals right now.
Cool.
So we should be seeing it by the end of the year probably.
Suitable
But it sounds cool.
Flesh.
Dude, what is that? What Mr. Arashi's Amazing
Arashi's.
Freak? Oh, that sounds fun.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yes.
Castle Freak was cool.
Yeah. Castle Freak was
enjoyed
fun.
That. Yeah.
Castle Freak's dope. I'm definitely
Yeah.
interested in that movie.
Yeah, and
Is it-
I've been waiting on Night of the Creeps. Has been on my watch list for a while too.
Yeah, I
But
watched that the other day.
It's not on a streaming service or anything, so I was kind
You
of
can
holding
borrow
out.
mine because I got multiple copies.
Well,
I
I just-
love this movie.
Well, I've been wanting to do it on the show, but it's not on a service or anything.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Night of the Creeps is popular enough that we can just do it because people have this movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
all of
It's awesome. I just watched it the other day and I loved
Night of the
it.
Creeps?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and the family watched it. We watched it with the kids.
Man, it's so much fun.
Dude,
So
I love
much fun.
that's where I started. That kind of stuff is what
Yeah.
started me on this journey to all this SOV stuff. Is I was watching these 80 movies and they were getting campier and campier, and some of them was like, yeah, bro, Night of the Creeps, another let's go.
Man, I got a good story about Night of the
Yeah.
Creeps.
Let's
it
hear
popped
it.
up on Josh's letterbox, and I was like, "Damn it!" I've been kind of waiting. I've been holding that one in my pocket for a little while.
I'll watch it
that
again.
That does stress me out whenever I have something that I'm ready to put in the chamber and like let you guys see it, and then when you goes, "Oh, I just watched it," I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
I mean, I'll bring it back around in a few months or something.
I'll watch it
What's your
again.
Night of the Creeps story, Hugh.
I was newly divorced and super depressed, and one of my ex-girlfriends from high school in Arkansas reached out to me and flew into Houston to see me and brought this movie, Bubba Hotep, and another movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I had never seen any of them, and we watched Night of the Creeps and got shit-faced drunk. Man,
Sometimes
it
that's
was.
what you need.
I'll never forget it. I mean, it was a really nice thing she did.
No kidding. Sounds like a
but
fun
yeah.
night.
I wish I hadn't gotten so drunk. It was one of those nights, but
Oh,
man, Night of the Creeps lives on in my memory, and so does Bubba Hotep for that matter. I mean,
I love Bubba Hotep, dude. That movie's
dude,
awesome.
that's another one I haven't seen. It's on my list.
every
So
time
this-
I watch these, I'm like, thank you. That was so.
Thank you, nice lady.
I'm gonna do a movie review on this film, but it's not streaming anywhere. But when you see the cast of this movie, dude, has any of y'all seen or heard about this?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
That's not the ice tea one, is it?
No. This has got Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Stephen Dorff, and Dennis Leary. Are you kidding me? Like,
Dude,
I don't think I've heard of that.
I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
bro, it's not on any streaming service that I can find.
I don't think it has like a Blu-ray release or anything, does it?
Not that I saw. I was trying to find one. I bought the
Judgment.
DVD. But
man, I feel like I've seen this, but I don't know.
oh really?
What's the one with ice tea in it? Where they
How about
hunt people?
Is it the one
Judgment
where
Day,
they're
maybe?
where they're hunting people?
Yeah.
No, that's called Surviving the Game.
Surviving the
I have a story about that movie. That's why I know what it's called. So I'm not a weed guy, like at all, right? And so one day my friends were like, "Hey man, want to smoke a joint?" And I was like, "Not really." And they're like, "Come on." And I was like, "Okay." And so then we went over to their house and got a bunch of weed together. Yes, you're correct, sir. Bubba Hotep is amazing, and Bruce Campbell's Elvis is probably the greatest thing ever. So we're sitting in this apartment, and they're just smoking weed, right? What they didn't tell me is that at the time, I didn't understand that there was two kinds of weed. There was regular weed, and then there was really good weed. And so they're smoking it, and they're passing around these little tiny joints, and I'm like, y'all are so weird. And I just start, just chiefing like it was a cigarette or something. And my buddy's like, yo, you should chill with that. And I was like, oh, my bad. And I passed it on. And then like a second or two later, another one hits my hand, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I take a couple of hits. And then I realized, like, how many of these we got going on? They're like, I don't know, like 4 or 5. And I was like, son of a bitch, I've been smoking like 5 of these things. And so like maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, I'm just stuck on the couch like this. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and like I couldn't move. And I was like, and so somebody goes, hey, y'all want to watch this Ice-T movie? And I was like, yeah, kind of. I was like, yeah, dude. And so they put it on, and in this movie, he's like a homeless guy, and they bring him to this like island to go chase him down and hunt him and kill him, right? And so at one point, he's in the woods, and he's running from these guys. He's got dreadlocks and everything, and he's got this watch. And to this day, I don't know where he got the watch from. I haven't watched it again since then because it fucked me up. He had a watch on, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, and all my buddies were like hooting and hollering, like, this is fucking awesome. And I'm just really high. And I'm like, and I was like, man, fuck this movie. And they're like, what the fuck? And because I was quiet the whole movie except this one point.
I've heard this story before.
And I just jumped up, and I was like, where the fuck did a homeless guy get that watch? And it just, I couldn't like wrap my head around like where this guy got this watch from. It was driving
That's
me
the funniest shit. Because when you're super high, like you start focusing on
Yeah.
like super focusing on like tiny details.
I would give up
sometimes.
every penny that I have to take you guys back to that time to see me do that because it was so stupid. Like Josh would appreciate me doing that because it was so out of character for me.
That's so
I was
funny.
just dead ass quiet for like 2 hours, stuck in this like hole, and then that watch just got me so angry, dude. I was so mad about this fucking watch that he was wearing. But Ice-T is the shit. So shout out to Ice-T and Surviving the Game.
That's funny.
That
man,
was the
put
movie
Surviving-
too.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the one.
I already knew as soon as you said Ice-T, I was like, that's Surviving the Game. Like that's the only movie that he was ever good in. What are we talking about here, man? Like that might actually end up on the fucking list now.
Never seen
man. Oh, dude, it's so bad good. It's great. I love it. I was thinking about putting some Schwarzenegger stuff on the list soon. I'm in a Schwarzenegger mood. That
Did he
sounds
do
weird.
any SOV
What?
movies?
Not one I'm watching. Him and Sylvester Stallone tag team this one broad.
What's the
Yeah, it's
weightlifting
called
one?
Raw Deal too. Do what?
I think Pumped is it Pumping Iron?
Pumping Iron,
Oh,
the
Pumping Iron.
documentary.
Yeah, it's
I'm
kind
not
of
watching
SOB.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Julie just pops in. Bubba Hotep's fire.
Oh, yeah. Those are my people here.
Right?
Bubba
This
Hotep.
is dude. Hey, it's a small but loyal crowd. Yeah, dude. I need to watch. I got so much stuff that I want to rewatch. By going through my movies, I've seen all these movies that I haven't seen yet. That I want to watch, but I got all this like hot garbage I need to get through first. Dude, I can't wait to watch this Judgment Night movie. I bet it's gonna be silly. This is like, if I'm looking for like quality film, I need to watch stuff like this. I need 90s schlock. Like,
Yeah.
Anything with Emilio Estevez in it is.
I love Emilio.
Well, I think there's Repo Man, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good movie. Other than Repo Man and what's the one where they're trash people working?
Men at Work?
on?
Men at Work is
Men at
the
Work.
shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. But I don't know, man.
You know, like the
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks, get the hell out of here.
Mighty Ducks was not my thing.
Oh man, that's weak
You're
sauce.
too old for Mighty Ducks.
I think I'm too young for it.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I mean, I was
Mighty
It
Ducks?
missed me.
I was
Yeah.
right in the Mighty Ducks sweet
Me
spot.
too, bro. I still like that shit.
I had a jersey and
Let's
shit.
go. I didn't have all that, but I definitely like the movie.
yeah.
That's
I was
cool.
too poor to have a jersey, but yeah, dude. I'm psyched to me and that young lady are gonna do All Hallows Eve if anybody cares to try to watch it and maybe catch the show. I don't think we're doing it live. I think her and I are gonna film it just to see how it works with the having each other on screen together and stuff.
It's
But
probably,
she seems
probably
pretty
a good
cool.
move.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, man, I don't think this live is a smart idea at all. Like,
Yeah,
She
not
seems
for a
cool, though.
first.
she's very nice and very, very much into the same things that we're into. So it could work out pretty well to have another little extra somebody to talk to on the channel because movie reviews are fun, but I really like bouncing things off people. Like, I'm gonna come at it with a different bit of I don't know. Since it's gonna be just two of us, I think I'm gonna come at it from a different angle. I'm gonna try to write some things down and make it a little more, I guess, formulaic might be the word, but
Structured.
yeah, structured. That's a good word. Yeah, structured. But yeah, it should be fun, man.
Cool. Man.
What are you guys doing this weekend? Anybody gonna be at Alamo on Friday? Because I'm not.
How about take us to Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but you haven't seen Spider-Man yet either, have you?
No.
So I guess do Guardians before it. I mean, it'll probably still be around for a while.
Guardians is still selling like crazy at Alamo.
So will Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We'll have
I
time.
haven't
Oh,
left
dude.
the house except for work and that con we went to.
It's crazy how many people are at the theater right now for Spider-Man and Guardians. Today we had, I think it's the last day for Mario, the Mario movie, because it was
Okay.
sold out all showings today.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to work and I was like, what is going on with this Mario movie? dude?
Well, kids out of school, like
Yeah.
they gotta do something with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, I had to
Wednesday,
I had to
Mario.
deny so many people from getting in the theater today. My boss is like, "You're the only one that enforces the rules. We need you up here doing that." I was like, "All right." And so, like, okay, one of the regulars for the film club and horror, the horror one, the
Graveyard Shift.
Graveyard Shift. Okay, remember that girl that I pointed out to you that one day, Hugh, and we were
Mhm.
just kind of talking about her, and she came in today, and I told her she couldn't go in, and she was like, "What? But I'm like part of the." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry. Like the rules are the rules." Because last week, her and the other guy, they're always late. They're always late, and I don't mean like 2 or 3 minutes. They're pushing that 15 minutes every week. They're coming in at the 15-minute mark. I'm done. I'm over it, dude. Because last week they were like 17 minutes late, and so was another person. So I stopped the other person, and I was like, "Hey, I can't let you guys in." And I told them, "Hey, I can't let you guys in. You're too late." And they went, "Uh-huh," and they just walked right past me. So they were like, "Yeah, sure." Like one thing, I think the guy even said, "I'm a regular here," and walked in anyways. And like I got yelled at by 2 people because these pricks wanted to go in anyways. I told my boss, I said, "I don't care who they're friends with. I'm stopping them. I'm done, dude. If you want me to enforce the rules, I'll enforce the rules. But if you're not going to back me up on this, I'm not stopping anybody because I'm not getting yelled at for this anymore. It's ridiculous, dude.
Drop the
feel like-
hammer, man.
I feel like I'm the only person that's like Because I'm on a little island by myself up in the front most of the time. It's just like I'm up there by myself.
Dude, I will say, going to other movie theaters, that shit drives me crazy when people come in late. They'll come in
dude.
like 30 minutes late with their
Yeah.
phone light on, looking for the seat, and I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here! I've already invested 20 minutes into this thing.
And if they do it at Alamo, they got to pull out their phone, turn their flashlight on, look at the menu,
Well, we
write
told
down
them
their
you can't
order.
do that. There's a light under your table for a freaking
know.
reason, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
So
But I break the rules all the time. So,
dude, I have pissed off so many people in the last 3 days at work, dude. It's kind of got me a little worried that a customer might come there and smack me up, dude. Like, I had a lady today. She I guess her kids were coming up there. They were all like 18, 19. They were like old enough to be there. And they came in, but they were like 25 minutes late. And I told them, I was like, hey, I can't let y'all in. And one of them goes, go get mom real quick. And I didn't know what she meant. So I just let her go get her mom. And rules are like ping pong, only works across the board. Nah, bro, not where I'm at. I stand on them shits. But plus it's getting a little ridiculous. People just take advantage of me, But anyway, so they go outside to get their mom, and their mom comes in and she's like, hey, the kids told me that they weren't allowed to go in. And I was like, no. They were late, so I didn't let them in the movie late. And she's like, oh, and as I told the kids that they couldn't go in, I also told them, but if you want a different movie or a refund, I could do that for you. So the mom's all pissed off. She's like, why can't they go see half a movie? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, they don't mind being late. And I was like, it's not about whether or not they mind. It's the people in there already. And she's like, well, so you're telling me that we have to just pay for these tickets and then we don't get to go? And I was like, no. And I looked at the kid and I was like, oh, you forgot to mention that I told you could get a refund. And then the mom was like, he told you could get a refund? And I'm like, of course I told them they could get a refund. And then the mom got all pissed off at the kids, and I was like, there we go. That's what I need. Justice.
Redirect that anger.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. And then
now get out of here.
Dude, this guy today, he came in, and he was like, they were about 20 minutes late, and I just told them they couldn't go in. And he literally, he didn't say, well, this is your fault. But he definitely went, and I was like, oh, she was taking forever to get ready. I could feel it in this guy's blood. He was like, I could feel him basically thinking, bitch, I told you we need to leave. And she was just like, she had this look like, oh, shit, on her face. And I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I had to do my makeup for 45 minutes to go sit in a dark room.
Dude, it was awesome. Now, that's the kind of stuff that I do enjoy doing. I like making people mad and sending them home with each other.
Well, instead of putting you at back bar, they just make you the bouncer at the front door.
There you go.
Hey, I kind of am. Dude, it's worth their money, I promise, because it's hilarious. Dude, I went and got oh gosh. All right, I don't want to talk about this on live stream. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
all right, everybody.
Let's wrap it up.
We'll see y'all later, man. We'll see y'all next week for Demons. Hell yeah. Likely going to be Tuesday or Wednesday night again.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Later, guys.